Hi guys. So I wanted to give you a bit of another technical update from behind the scenes at Trinity Church. First off, I wanted to say thank you to Moe Lavallee for all of his hard work getting used to the new camera and a new computer and a new switcher, which allows for our service to be streamed the way you saw last week with the words on the screen and then also having the little image of Father Taylor on the bottom, that split screen. That is all due to the hard work of Moe Lavallee, so thank you for that, first off. Secondly, the big reason that I wanted to do this update is to let you know about an issue that we potentially could have and how we plan on getting around it. So if you have been listening on Facebook or Instagram or any of those social media platforms, you may have heard of people who are dealing with Zoom bombers. A Zoom bomber is somebody who gets into a meeting or a church service like ours. I've heard about it happening at a meeting for educators, and the Zoom bomber gets in and starts showing really inappropriate images and movies and calling out people and just saying really nasty things. Basically, they're just causing fear and confusion in an already kind of confusing and uncertain time. So we want to eliminate that ability to get into our service. So the first thing that's going to be different this week is that you are going to need to pre-register for our church service. So what you'll do is tomorrow, when you receive the email from Carol, the Friday e-blast, there will be a link in there, just like normal, to get into the service. When you receive that, you'll want to pre-register. So click that link, fill in the email that you use for Zoom, and then you'll be pre-registered that way. What happens is once you send in your registration, Father Taylor, Carolyn, and I will go through and make sure that we know all the people who are pre-registered. Then you'll receive the link to get in to the service in a separate email. You are welcome to submit that email to some friends and family if you would like to invite them, but please do not put that on a public space. So don't Facebook that link or put it on Instagram. Simply email them. Don't let it get public anywhere because we're trying to avoid getting that link public. After that, once you've registered and we've weeded out any potential unknowns, the next thing that you'll need to do is make sure that when you log in to the Zoom, you need to make sure that you're putting your first and last name. That way we know who you are. If it says iPad or anything that's generic like that, we're not going to allow you to move into the service because we don't know who you are. So make sure that you're assigning your name to your iPad or computer. The way to do that is when you originally sign in, you should have the option of naming your computer. Sometimes it's already named. So if that happens, there's always an option to rename your stream. If you go to gallery view, you can do it that way just by hovering over your name, or sometimes you can do it along the bottom of your screen. There might be the camera, and sometimes you can rename it there, or if that doesn't work, you can go to the other side and there is sometimes an option to for more, and then there might be an option there. If you are having a hard time figuring out how to rename your computer, please let me know and I can walk you through it. Okay, those are just 3 options. But please let me know before Sunday. This is something that I would need to know like when you go on to Compline tonight or noonday prayer tomorrow. So check out what your computer is named when you're in those other services or when you're on another group chat. That way we can preemptively take care of these naming issues. Okay, the next thing is once we get everybody in on Sunday morning, and again, service is going to start at 9:45, but we'll start our Zoom meeting at 8:45. So 8:45 a.m., sign in or as close to it as you can. and you'll be put into a waiting room. The waiting room just gives us another roadblock for people who we don't know to be weeded out. So again, make sure your computer is named at this point. In the waiting room, you might be able to change it there too if you haven't yet, but I'm not sure about that. Once you're in the waiting room, we will weed you through again, and we'll make sure that the people who are coming in are people that we know. And then you'll be able to join in the service and do the fellowship before the service, just like we did last week. Also, again, just like we did last week, we are going to stop the pre-service fellowship at about 9:20. This way, it'll give us plenty of time to make sure that we can get onto Facebook and share with as many people as we can that way. Facebook doesn't have to deal with Zoom bombers, so we can put that public. You don't have to worry about that. So once we get onto Facebook Live, we'll let it go until about 9:45, and that's when the service will start. Okay? One final thing is, if anybody does get into our Zoom, even after all of those prerequisites, if somebody does get into Zoom, then we are just going to immediately shut it down. We won't even ask questions. We're just going to shut it down, and we'll try again at 6 p.m. Okay? This is going to be kind of our last resort. But if somebody does get in and starts messing around with our controls or putting up any inappropriate images, we're just going to turn it off. Okay? So these are all things that we're doing to make sure that our service remains the safe place that it has been for you. We want to really emphasize that our service is a safe place, and we're trying really hard to make sure that anybody with nefarious intentions is not able to interrupt that safety. Okay, so if you have questions, or if you struggle to get any of these things done, then please just call me. You've got my email, you've got my phone number. Just give me a call, and I'll walk you through it. Okay? All right, guys. Have a great day. Today's Thursday, and it's lovely out right now, so I hope you enjoy the day.